Welcome to the French Drainman channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood. Today we're going to go over the most common cause of water problems in backyards. We're going to show you a lot of tips and tricks. Stay to the end for all the details so that you know how to remedy your water problem. You only have to connect. See how this pipe goes like this? All that water in that perforated pipe is going to run that way to that Y. People, a lot of times, they don't know what to do in a case like this. The guys, for ease, they just ran. They actually had two running this way. They cut this one, went ahead, connected it to a Y, connected it to the two that are running out this way. It's perforated pipe. The water's going to move in and out of all these pipes, so you don't have to have them all connected. A lot of times people are trying to connect them all and it just puts them into a tailspin. Also, no tape. You don't need tape with this coupler, and we're trying to let the water in, so we don't need any tape. It's perforated, a perforated system. You're trying to let water in. So this here is just a little privacy berm. You know, now these are going to be really big, you know, for screening. But the drainage has been compromised. Now we're asking the water to neck down. It bottlenecks right here. And the storm drain is right back here. So right now the guys are putting in a tap. They cored the storm drain, and now they're using hydraulic concrete. Because of this landscape berm, the water can't find its way out of here. So we got to help it. So right here, we're giving the water a path. We're grabbing up all the water that was laying up against this berm. See, the water that typically comes down to the swale and then runs to the storm drain can't. But when we put landscape for privacy and, you know, just to beautify our yards, like this landscape, same thing, water's trapped here. So we got pipe going around both landscape beds, elevated landscape beds. Because they couldn't mow them. The water just gets stuck over here. You're trying to ask water to find its way through this little bottleneck. It's not going to happen, especially when it's in turf grass. So the guys did a beautiful job. They did a lot of excavation. We hauled all the dirt away. Notice how there's no dirt piled up. These mats don't have no dirt on them. All the dirt's been hauled away. We're going to replace all that dirt with pipe and stone. We're going to encapsulate it in a good non-woven geotextile filter fabric. And then we're going to put some sand on top of it, and then we're going to put the turf grass back on. I use small stone here because I want the grass roots to root through the non-woven geotextile filter fabric into our 3/4 stone. This will stay damp, and the roots won't air prune off the turf grass. So for the grass health, that's what we had chose. It's going to make a good drain material. The guys are still adding more pipe to this. You're going to see some catch basins on a solid line here soon. Now the water's coming out of this pool yard. It's shedding off the concrete. All the water ends up back here. We're going to put a 6-inch catch basin at the start of it. The very first basin, you have an end cap on it. And then over here, we have a coupler to connect solid pipe. Such a quick connection, quick hookup, easy, strong, it holds, you can't get it off. We just put end plugs in the perforated pipe. Below it, no big deal. That way they don't fill with stone. We're going to put a riser, a 12 by 12 turf restrictor with a 6-inch grate. We're going to use our full throttle 6-inch grate. Look at that. That's crazy. Look at all that inlet. Landscape is great business for a drainage contractor. No matter how many yards we fix, there's thousands of landscapers out there putting landscapes in swaled areas. Thank you. That's all I have to say is thank you for the job security. We have a storm drain right here. This lot and this lot come to a swale right here. The water drains down. This comes down, swaled. It's the way the whole sub is. The next storm drain's over here that we tapped. So you have your swale, all the water's coming down to the swale, but now there's landscape damming it. But we fixed it, no big deal. We core and tap that storm drain, we're piping it right in. So now all the runoff that's trying to find its way to that storm drain is going to find its way into that storm drain. We got a French drain here. We got a French drain here. We have them in that bottleneck. We piped it through this bottleneck here. We're going to get all that water and put it right in its place. I'm going to show you guys this before they cover it up. There's our yard drain on a solid pipe. It's inside our French drain. Our 3/4 stone. The guy's got 4 pipes in. This is a quad pack over here. Once you level out the stone, go ahead, close it up. We got a pretty deep trench. We got 5-foot wide fabric. It's working out really good. We're not having to trim or cut it. We're able to pull it together and pin it. There's a couple areas that Cal had to cut the fabric. It was too long, but he's using those right here at these intersections. I get this asked in the comments all the time. What do you do in these areas? It's simple, guys. Don't overthink it. Just cut a little bit of fabric, have a slight overlap, pin it. Now you can cover it with sand and sod. It's that easy. Anywhere you want to put in an inline basin on a solid pipe, you simply just cut out a section of the perforated pipe, put caps in it so stone don't fill them. It's that simple, guys. Don't overthink it. It's that easy. All the water is going to run through all those inlet and or outlets and flow right past this area. It's not an issue.
Right here, Cal's using a rubber mallet to pound in the fabric pins. It's a lot easier on your hands. It goes quick. It's super easy to push these pins down in the 3/4 stone versus a bigger rock. It's hard to turn a mini skid loader in these bottlenecks, so the men are using wheelbarrows. Work smarter, not harder. Once you level out the stone and you have the fabric pinned and you have a fully encapsulated French drain system, you want to go ahead and put a thin layer of sand on top of the fabric. It's going to take some time for the grass roots to root through the fabric. The fabric is double punched. There's a lot of holes in that fabric. And eventually all the roots are going to grow through the fabric. That's going to carry the water through capillary action and gravity down into the French drain system. Until the roots root in, we do need to have sand underneath the sod. That way the water can infiltrate the French drain system without any issues. A question I get often in the comments is how many feet apart do you put the inline catch basins? And it doesn't work like that at all. The catch basins only go where you have water ponding. Anywhere you have what we call a pothole in your yard that holds water is where the catch basin goes. So it's not every 20 feet or every 7 feet, nothing like that. Just literally wherever there's a collection area of large amounts of surface water, that's where you want to put your inline catch basins. That way you're grabbing up that bulk water, taking it into the system really quick. And typically, when you see us build a quad pack, we'll have one solid pipe for those catch basins and then 3 perforated pipes for the French drain system.
You can see how the men cut the sod with a sod cutter. Then they cut it in 18-inch pieces so that it's manageable. They put it up along that boulder retaining wall, out of the way. You don't want to be working on it. You don't want to be driving on it, stepping on it. It's just going to make it harder to work with. Just methodically disassembling and reassembling a backyard. When they're done, you can't even tell they were here. Beautiful work by a professional crew.
If you found any of this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding building a French drain yard drain combination, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.